This is exactly what we've been talking about. Now, you do the same thing over.
Nobody was prepared for how quickly everything unraveled. One moment, the internet had already begun to move on. Attention was drifting toward the next trend, the next viral headline, the next distraction waiting to dominate timelines. And then, without warning, a video surfaced. It was raw, unexpected, and impossible to ignore. Within hours, Iman Shumpert'S name was everywhere again, but not for basketball, not for music, and not for personal growth. This time, it was tied to humiliation. The fallout didn't stop with him. Like a ripple that refused to settle, the controversy dragged Teyana Taylor right back into a chapter she had been fighting hard to close. 4 months following their divorce, both Iman and Teyana had tried to move forward with visible restraint. Public statements emphasized co-parenting, mutual respect, and healing. Fans wanted to believe the worst had passed. Teyana immersed herself in her work, her creativity, and her children. Iman stepped back from the spotlight, allowing time to soften the edges of public judgment. But when that video leaked, all of that effort collapsed overnight. According to online timelines, the clip appeared without context. No explicación. No warning. Just a short video that immediately raised questions and ignited reactions. People began sharing it faster than they were understanding it. Comment sections exploded. Group chats lit up. Before anyone involved could respond, the narrative had already been written. In the court of public opinion, silence often equals guilt. And Iman found himself trapped inside a story he didn't get to tell. What made the situation especially brutal was how personal it felt. This wasn't a vague rumor or a blurry screenshot. Many viewers believed the video showed behavior that contradicted the image Iman had worked to rebuild. Not just as a public figure, but as a father, a co-parent, and a man who claimed to be evolving after divorce. The humiliation didn't come from the clip alone. It came from the reaction. Jokes spread rapidly. Memes followed. Harsh judgments replaced nuance. The internet stripped the situation of complexity and reduced it to ridicule. And almost immediately, Teyana's name began trending alongside his. Not because she appeared in the video, but because history refuses to stay buried online. Old interviews resurfaced. Past arguments were dissected. Fans began connecting dots that may or may not have ever belonged together. Some accused her of knowing more than she said. Others argued she was being unfairly dragged into a situation that had nothing to do with her. Either way, her healing was interrupted again. According to people close to her, that was what hurt the most. Teyana had worked deliberately to create emotional distance from Iman's controversies. She chose peace publicly, even when silence cost her the chance to defend herself. She had accepted that quiet was sometimes the price of growth. And yet, one leaked video was enough to pull her back into chaos. It was a reminder of how unforgiving the internet can be, especially toward women who remain connected, even indirectly, to men who stumble publicly. Iman's response, or lack of one, only intensified the situation. He didn't immediately deny the video. He didn't clarify. He didn't explain. While some argued that legal considerations may have forced his silence, public perception doesn't wait for facts. Every hour without a statement fueled speculation. Fans interpreted the quiet as embarrassment. Critics labeled it avoidance. Supporters worried it was panic. No matter the interpretation, the damage spread faster than any clarification could contain. Teyana, meanwhile, responded in a way that only encouraged people to read between the lines. She never directly addressed the video, but subtle posts, emotional captions, and cryptic messages suggested frustration. Not loud anger, just exhaustion. The kind that comes from being forced to relive pain you already survived. Many fans believed her reaction wasn't about the video itself, but about what it represented. A reminder that no matter how far she moved forward, Iman's actions could still reach her. As social media continued to spiral, old allegations resurfaced. Things that were never proven, never confirmed, but never forgotten. That's the danger of viral moments. They don't just expose the present, they resurrect the past. Suddenly, Iman wasn't being judged for one video. He was being judged for years of speculation, unresolved questions, and lingering rumors. The humiliation became layered, growing heavier with every recycled accusation. Some questioned whether the leak was intentional. Was it revenge, carelessness, or simply a private moment that was never meant to become public? The truth remains unclear, but intent didn't matter much. Once the clip escaped privacy, control vanished. Once the internet gets hold of something, humanity becomes optional. What made the situation even more painful was the involvement of children. Conversations shifted from drama to concern. People began asking how moments like this affect co-parenting, emotional safety, and long-term stability. Insiders suggested that Teyana's primary focus wasn't public image, it was protection. Protecting her children from ridicule. Protecting them from narratives they didn't create. Protecting them from inheriting chaos they didn't deserve. Industry reactions were quiet but noticeable. Opportunities don't disappear overnight, but reputations take hits in subtle ways. Iman's image, once seen as charismatic, creative, and evolving, now carried a question mark. And in entertainment, perception matters as much as talent. For Iman, the humiliation wasn't just public. It was deeply internal. People close to him suggested he felt exposed in a way he never anticipated. Not just embarrassed, but stripped of control. When your worst moment becomes content for millions, shame multiplies. Rebuilding from that kind of exposure takes more than a statement. It takes time, accountability, and humility. For Teyana, the pain cut differently. Quieter, deeper, just as heavy. Her journey toward peace hadn't been loud or performative. It was intentional and carefully built. Step by step, she separated herself from chaos, choosing growth over noise and healing over headlines. But healing, especially in the public eye, is fragile. All it takes is one moment, alleged or real, to tear open wounds you thought had closed. The internet didn't care that Teyana had moved on. It didn't care that she had drawn boundaries or rebuilt her life away from the spotlight she once thrived in. Online spaces don't reward progress. They reward spectacle. And suddenly, her name was trending again. Not because of her art, her discipline, or her evolution, but because someone else's actions dragged her back into a narrative she had already outgrown. For Teyana, this wasn't about gossip or clout. It was about control, or the lack of it. When you choose peace, you expect the world to eventually let you rest. But drama doesn't follow rules. It doesn't honor timelines. It doesn't knock before entering. Drama hunts healing. It circles quietly, waiting for a crack, then forces itself back into the story. What hurt most weren't the headlines. It was the reminders. Old moments resurfaced. Old assumptions replayed. People spoke as if they still knew her, as if growth didn't exist, as if change was a myth instead of a process. Strangers dissected her silence, mistaking restraint for weakness and boundaries for guilt. In reality, silence was survival. Teyana had already done the hardest thing, choosing herself. But moments like this reveal the cost of that choice. Healing doesn't mean immunity from pain. It means feeling it fully and refusing to react the way the world demands. That restraint, that strength rarely goes viral. Behind the scenes, this moment wasn't dramatic. It was exhausting. Another reminder that being associated with someone else's chaos can undo months of emotional labor in seconds. That peace, once found, must constantly be defended. In the end, Teyana didn't respond with outrage. She didn't explain herself. She didn't beg for understanding. She stayed quiet. Because sometimes the most powerful response isn't a clapback or a statement. It's choosing not to bleed in public just because the world demands a show. As days passed, attention slowly shifted elsewhere, as it always does. But the impact remained. Trust cracked. Co-parenting grew more complicated. And the lesson lingered. Fame doesn't fade quietly. It waits. And when it strikes, it doesn't discriminate between who caused the damage and who gets caught in it. This story isn't just about a leaked video. It's about how quickly dignity can be taken, how easily private moments become public punishment, and how one person's humiliation can reopen wounds for everyone connected to them. Iman Shumpert didn't just face embarrassment. He faced the reality that the internet never forgets. And Teyana Taylor was reminded that healing in the spotlight is never fully safe. Because in a world where everything can be recorded, leaked, and shared, the real shock isn't the video itself. It's how fast empathy disappears when drama takes over.